And let me move on to free agency, where Klay Thompson ended his 13-year historic run with the Golden State Warriors yesterday. Klay agreed to a 3-year, $50 million deal to play with the Mavericks, alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, of course. So it's the end of an era in Golden State where Klay won 4 titles with the Warriors, alongside the greatest shooter God ever created in Steph Curry, and of course the one and only Draymond Green. But this last season was especially tough for Klay as his relationship with the franchise became strained over his contract discussions. Klay averaged just under 18 points this season, his lowest since his second season with the team. I want to get to Paul George in just a minute because I wanted to get from Jason Tatum to Paul George, but I'll get back to that. Let me say this about Klay Thompson. I went back and I looked at some numbers. I'm a huge fan of Klay Thompson. I think he's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot. I think he's one of the greatest shooters we've ever seen in our lifetime, top 5 shooter of all time. I also think that if Klay Thompson hates the media for life, I wouldn't blame him. Because if you remember years ago, when he was not voted on one of the All-NBA teams, if you remember that, right? The media cost Klay Thompson $30 million because Kemba Walker was put on the All-NBA team and Klay Thompson wasn't. And Klay Thompson was furious about that, and he should have been. He should have been. But when you hear about friction between him and the Golden State Warriors, that's clearly Klay Thompson caught up in his feelings. It really, really is. Klay Thompson, under his rookie deal, made about $9 million. He signed a 5-year deal with Golden State thereafter that gave him an additional about $68 million. If you remember, in the 2019 NBA Finals between Golden State and the Toronto Raptors, he tore his ACL. Okay? Was out for the entire season, next season. This was in June. The next season, he was out. I forgot that July, when the Golden State Warriors knew that Klay Thompson would be out for at least an entire year, they still gave him $191 million. And then he tore his Achilles in a pickup game. And was out not just for the 2019-2020 season, but ended up being out for the 2020-2021 season. He got paid $32 and $35 million. He got paid damn near $68 million for not playing the game. So in the world of business, ladies and gentlemen, we can't sit up there and look at a guy who was paid for not playing. They paid you all of these years. There's been slippage in your game to some degree, even though he did shoot 45% from the field and 41% from three-point range and averaging about 20 a game after the All-Star break this past season. We can't sit up there and look at Joe Lacob and the Golden State Warriors and act like they shafted Klay Thompson. They didn't. Klay Thompson, I don't believe he believes that. I think he wants a fresh start. I think he sees Kuminga and Podziemski. He knows that's the direction Steve Kerr wants to go in. He also knows that his playing time is going to be compromised, and he doesn't want that problem. He knows that Dallas needs shooters. So him leaving Golden State should not be that big of a news. Him ending up going to Dallas, that's an obvious choice with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic and what they can do for you, because obviously Derrick Jones is no shooter. Neither is P.J. Washington, even though he can make some threes. And so if you got Klay out there, he opens things up for Kyrie, he opens things up for Luka, plus he opens things up for Gafford and Lively. So it's a good thing. Here's where the story should lie. Why the hell didn't you go to California? Why didn't you stay in California and go to the Lakers? Could it be that he didn't want to go someplace where at least it's perceived that the superstar is picking the coach and the draft picks, a.k.a. J.J. Redick and Bronny James, via LeBron James? Could that be the case? Could that be that Klay Thompson didn't want to be in that predicament? Or could it be the fact that Golden State, obviously they consider the Lakers a rivalry. They want supremacy within the state of California, and Klay didn't want to do that to them? I don't know the answer to that question. I just know it's legitimate that LeBron James is willing to take a pay cut, and nobody that he wanted came. James Harden stayed with the Clippers. Klay Thompson went to Dallas. How come the Los Angeles Lakers, led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis to a lesser degree, couldn't get somebody to come to L.A.? I'm just asking. I'm just asking.